Hello, I'm David Widmar with Agricultural Economic Insights, joining you again for another Chart of the Week update. This chart is one we shared a few weeks ago in an article titled Who's Buying US Corn? You can take a look at the link down below. And one of the highlights we wanted to mention is that corn purchases have been, specifically corn exports, have been a bit of a roller coaster over the last few years. We had a really big year back in the 2020-21 marketing year when China bought a lot of corn, and then exports fell by about 40% in the following few years. But now we've seen it come almost back to where we were back at that 2020 highs. But China isn't back. They're still buying less bushels on a year over year basis. So, what's been going on behind the scenes? And we wanted to take a look. So, we have several charts, and this is chart three that I want to highlight. You can check out all the other charts in the full article in the link below. But the takeaway here is that when we have a big boom in exports or a big slowdown in exports, it's kind of common to look for one particular headline or a country to fit into a headline. And China fit that bill during the last boom and that slowdown. But more recently, it's been a whole cast of countries. And so in the 2023-24 marketing year, we saw Mexico come in and buy a whole lot more corn. And when we look at the current marketing year, so we're in the 24-25 marketing year, and this is data through mid-June, and we compared it through mid-June for the previous marketing year. You can see that big purchases, and these are ranked in terms of total bushels of additional purchases. South Korea's bought the most of an increase. It's up 114 million bushels. Spain's up 80, Japan's up 78, Vietnam 41, and Colombia 31. In total, there's about 17 additional countries who bought corn in the current marketing year that didn't in the previous marketing year. And of the total 51 countries that have been purchasing corn, only six of those, including China and Canada, have had a pullback. And so there's been a lot of purchases across several countries. And so it's not just a few countries, it's a widespread. So it's hard to summarize, it's hard to categorize. The other point here I think is really important to highlight is look at some of the percentage changes that we've been seeing. So South Korea, of course, about 114 million additional bushels of corn. That's more than 100% increase. Check out Spain. They bought very little corn the year before, now up 80 million bushels, but a much bigger percentage. In Vietnam, going from essentially zero purchases last year up, adding 41. So it's not just all the countries buying a little bit more corn. It's some of the countries buying a lot more corn, and even countries like Mexico, who bought a lot last year, buying an additional increment. I noted in the article that Mexico still has purchased more on a year over year basis corn, but they weren't able to crack it into this top five here for this calendar year, even though they made really big purchases the year before. That's all we have for this time. Until next week, stay curious.